terrified children, the staff of the orphanage, and Reverend LaFranc's family. There were no other buildings near us. The orphanage building itself did not crumble. It had been well constructed. But while we stood in the middle of the field, we watched as the earthquake continued and some of the walls that surrounded us fell. No children, orphans, staff, Trinity members, or anyone with us were hurt. And for that, we thank God. We stayed in the middle of that field, holding and hugging the terrified children as the earth continued to rumble beneath us and the aftershocks began. After a few minutes, we began to hear the heartbreaking wails of the thousands and thousands of people just about a mile or less from us in the densely populated area we had left just a few hours before. And then we saw the great clouds of cinder dust rising from the earth, clearly visible before us. After a while, once it was determined that the children were safe, that the orphanage building was sound, it was decided that our team, Reverend LaFranc and his family and several others, would get back on the bus and go back to his home, where understandably he wanted to see its condition. When we got there, as darkness was descending, Reverend LaFranc and his family discovered that his house had been destroyed. He then drove us to the nearby guest house where we were scheduled to spend just one night. Because of that predetermined schedule, all we had with us each was our backpack and one night's change of clothing, a water bottle, and a couple of snacks. When we got to that guest house, we found it was destroyed. We spent Tuesday night outdoors, resting on plastic chaise lounges from around the guest house pool, along with several Haitians, staff of the guest house, and others. On Wednesday morning, Reverend LaFranc returned with the bus, continuing to care for us, and we drove to the airport. It was on that 3-hour drive that normally would take about 30 minutes that we began to see the horrific destruction the earthquake caused. We stayed at the airport all day, trying to get word about flights, resting in a small park across from the airport with about 400 other people. At about 7 p.m., we were approached by two representatives from the Icelandic Search and Rescue Team, who had just landed with a plane full of supplies and about 40 professional search and rescue personnel. After unloading their plane, they determined that they must not leave Haiti empty, and so they began searching for people to take out. I believe we were some of the first persons they approached. They offered to take us to Nassau, which was where, for reasons we are not fully clear about, they were headed. And so we loaded their plane and were followed soon after by a 50-member international youth mission team, a about 10 other people. And so this 757 plane was about half filled when we lifted off at about 8:30 or 9 o'clock. From Nassau today, we made our way home. In closing, I want to call upon all people of conscience, and especially all people of faith, to immediately participate in any way possible to aid in the critical relief efforts that are now urgently needed. We were there. We saw the need. We heard the cries. And we bring them to you, asking you to hear them and to respond. Every hour is a matter of life and death, and that condition will continue for months. The wonderful, loving, and spiritual people of Haiti have a terrible history of oppression, abuse, poverty, and abandonment. And yet they are our brothers and sisters in the human family every bit as much as all of us are in this room. Please pray for them and for those who are trying to help them. But more, please give wings to your prayers by using your resources, your influence, your energy to be a life-giving blessing to them. Because I can attest, from 30 years of learning, sharing, living with, and loving the people of Haiti, they are a blessing to us. I look forward to the next time that I can return to Haiti to continue helping my friends and to continuing leading this church's mission, long-standing mission, to the people of Haiti. On Sunday, I do invite you to come back and worship with us. We will continue in those services at 9:15 and 10:45 to address this matter. And at 12 o'clock, we will gather for fellowship, and the team will have opportunity to share their stories and answer more of your questions. That concludes the formal statement, and we have some time for any questions from the